Hello everybody, I'm Mel, owner and general manager of Body and Motion Limited in Cambridge.
Hi guys, I'm Josh, personal trainer and group trainer at Body and Motion Limited.
And I'm Sarah Chadwick, the subject.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for your time with us and willing to share and tell it all. I'm sure it's been a very interesting journey, and there's so many people out there that want to know why, what, how, and where to. So without further ado, let's hear it.
Okay, my name's Sarah Chadwick. I'm 40 years old. I've got 3 kids under the age of 7, and I injured my knee about 2 years ago and needed a lot of rehab work on that. So that ruled out a lot of cardio, a lot of leaping around, a lot of classes perhaps I couldn't do anymore. So I set about training individual muscle groups, building up my bad side muscle wastage, and that led on to bodybuilding.
Wow, bodybuilding.
A goal.
So, Josh, was it scary when a female approached you with the request?
It's definitely a bit different. Like, it's not really something that I delved into it a bit with some of the younger guys and myself and a couple of older men, but never really trained a female for bodybuilding itself. But it was definitely a good learning curve, and we worked pretty well together.
Yeah,
Didn't have too much problem, eh? That's good.
So how many competitions have you done already?
I've just done the 2 now. I did one last August, and just this one recently. So just the 2. So we had our homework cut out for us in between times. I had a lot of goals I wanted to achieve, a lot of muscle I needed to build. I still had to work on my symmetry due to muscle wastage from injuring my knee. So we had a lot of work to do, a lot of things to cover in 6 months.
Was it hard?
I don't think it's too hard when you've got somebody that's actually willing to put the work in. I think the hardest thing was just building that much muscle in that short amount of time, like trying to go from, we've done one competition to coming into another competition with only 6 months, and usually, the cutting cycle, stripping down the body fat is 12 weeks long, so that in reality only gave us 12 weeks to build as much muscle as we possibly could, which isn't a lot of time. But
So Sarah, your age, your gender, would you say that counts against you when you look at building muscle mass and cutting body fat?
Lack of sleep with 3 kids, and I guess hormones, being 40, genetics plays a part in it as well. But I think if you want to do it, you can absolutely do it. You might just have to work harder than the average person and push through it. Yeah.
So the impact financially
Yes.
to eat right.
Yes.
That is the biggest question that everybody has, I think, besides can I do it,
Yeah.
would be how much is it going to cost me
Yeah.
to do this, and looking at being able to buy a Happy Meal for under $5 at McDonald's compared to eating well.
Yeah.
What is the impact financially?
The food itself, actually not bad. I did go through a ton of veggies, but I wasn't eating fruit, for example, because of the natural sugars in it. I would always buy bonus chicken on special, which actually I found out was on special every month. Without fail, as soon as I ran out in the freezer, we'd stock up more. And I wasn't eating huge quantities. I mean, I'm eating a third of what I used to naturally eat. Now that I'm weighing my portions and watching how much I actually need to build muscle, don't need to eat as much as I was eating. So I'm getting 3 meals out what I would have perhaps gotten 1 out of before. So nutrition, no. I mean, I saw a nutritionist, Jake Campus. It was $168 initially. Then it was $60 every time after that. But that would be 4 weekly, 6 weekly, leading up to a competition weekly. It's the supplements which you can choose whether you want to take or not, that can add up. But the nutrition itself, no, it's easy. It's good.
Josh,
cool.
was it hard?
Not really. Like, just fitting in everything around, you know, your family life, my work here at the gym, my own training and stuff. That is probably the most difficult part of it. You know, just finding the right time when would suit you, when would suit me. Lots of early mornings, lots of, you know, coming in 2 or 3 times a day, weekends, just to get it done. But you know, worth it in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
What questions have you got for Sarah?
All right. So where to from here? We've done 2 competitions.
Yeah.
What's the goal now?
Okay. So I definitely preferred competing in summertime.
Yep.
So first of all, I didn't have to this summer juggle sick children through winter, which impacted my training ability. And I was just so cold, stripping my body fat in winter time, which was just no fun.
Yeah.
So definitely summer. I want to build substantial muscle again without adding the stripping phase or the cutting phase in again. So I'd like to go away now and just keep chugging away like we were, keep building muscle on a decent amount of calories, and maybe think about doing one next summer.
Cool. Sounds good. And why initially was it bodybuilding rather than, you know, getting back into your horse riding or something else?
It was something that I could fit in around family time. They had the crash, which was huge because I can't go and ride horses and just leave the kids in the paddock, you know. So it was doable. This was doable. It was doable. I just live up the hill. I needed a goal. I needed something to aim towards, and I don't do things by halves, and so this seemed like it was good for me. I needed to work on all over muscle. Horse riding, for example, works parts of your body and not other parts. I like the way bodybuilding works on your whole body.
Sweet. And if somebody else was to come to you and say, look, I want to do, you know, what you've done, do the same sort of competition, what would be your biggest piece of advice?
I think anyone can do it for sure. I think you just have to really want to do it. No 2 ways about it. You just have to really want to do it because it does get hard. I always say it's always fun and games until they take the food away. And as the food starts to cut down and your energy levels are flat, you've just got to keep chugging on through.
Right.
What was the scariest part? The tiny bikini on stage, or the modelling, the walking, the high heels?
It was all of it.
All of it.
All of it. The first time I was terrified. I had just turned 40, and I was standing backstage thinking, this is crazy. What have I done? All this work for one day. What have I done? But the second time around, I had worked on my posing so much. I just didn't want to let everyone else down as well as myself, and I am a perfectionist, and I think that's part of the course with doing this sort of thing. So I wanted to show my muscles off to the best of their ability. The bikini wasn't an issue at all second time round. Walking in those 5-inch heels wasn't an issue at all second time round. But you get very critical of your body right towards the end, and it's such a science that 2 days before, I was talking to Josh saying, I'm not ready, and as everything just comes together and you dehydrate and everything just falls into place, and boom, that morning I was ready to go and I felt fine.
Josh, have you noticed a change in Sarah's confidence as a woman, as a person, and in her abilities?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, you know, we've built a lot of muscle. We've changed, obviously, whole body composition over the last year or so. But it's definitely been, you know, a lot of people come up to you and, you know, you want to ask questions and want to know how you did it, and it's quite clear that you're confident in what you've done and happy enough with the results that you can say, look, yeah, this is what I'm doing, this is why, that sort of thing. And for me, it's kind of like, you know, I think a lot of people kind of get to the age of 30 or so, it's probably what I notice in the gym the most, and they'll go, oh, I can't make a difference anymore. You know, 40, 3 kids, family, still doing it. So to me, it's probably the biggest thing I've noticed. Yeah, just proving everybody wrong.
And last question from me. What about those who think it's unhealthy, it's not good for you, it's not what a woman should do? What do you say to those people?
You're definitely going to get a certain level of that. I I mean, I think there's healthy ways to do it and possibly unhealthy ways to do it. I think you need to get good advice and stick to that and trust the process is what you really need to do.
That's good advice.
I wouldn't just Google it and wing it. I think you could run amok if you did that, but you need to choose people that you trust and respect and look up to and just do what you're told basically and trust it. Yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
And Josh, any last questions from you?
What would have been just like the hardest part of the whole thing? Like, what was it like the one point where you might have been like, I'm not doing this anymore?
I think at the end, both competitions, we've got a week or two out, and I would just turn up and go through the motions and do what I was told. And I'm not one to whinge, but I started to a bit towards the end. And yeah, all fun and games until the food gets cut a bit. But it just energy levels so flat, feeling a bit on another planet and going through the motions. But Josh would just remind me that it's worth it, we're nearly there, not giving up now. And sure enough, you get on stage and you're like, boom, that's why I do it. It's cool.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And am I saying the right thing by saying you are both willing to share your expertise, you are willing for people to make contact with you and discuss their future and their journeys in health and fitness, specifically to bodybuilding and sculpting? You're available for that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Do you want to give it a try? Get in touch with these people. Thank you.
Thank you.